They play my phone too much.
Used for this purpose before.
And if there is one there and we want to get her out because she looks enormous, then we can go at it. I can hardly wait to get into the jungle and use that.
I press play and they stop.
Existing evidence of giant spiders is sparse. But in 2004, this photo from Iraq of an 8-legged monster surfaced on the internet and began spreading like wildfire. The picture shows what appears to be an enormous, alien-looking creature. The photo isn't the only purported evidence of these desert creatures. Fantastic stories coming back from the Middle East tell of this creature eating the stomachs of camels, racing along the desert floor at speeds of 25 miles an hour, and having an appetite for human flesh. They are called camel spiders, a known animal. But are these photos and stories hope?
That's what the fuck I seen in the house. It was a camel spider. How the fuck does a camel spider get in fucking Bakersfield, California? How does a camel spider get there? They look like fucking scorpions with no tails. A camel fucking spider.
Or evidence that camel spiders grow to be giants. Monster Quest takes a closer look at these stories to see if they are more than urban legends. And for biological clues.
It was fucking crazy as bro. It was going right towards my baby. Man, oh my god, I would have lost my motherfucking mind. But I'm feeling like it. What the fuck?
So we head to Texas, to the rugged desert of Seminole Canyon State Park on the U.S.-Mexico border. Like the Iraqi desert, it's also one of the many places around the world where these creatures are said to lurk. In Texas, they are known as motivinados, or deer killers.
We have everything? We've got it. We're good? Yep. Let's do it.
Heading the expedition is Christy Reddick of Texas A&M. Joining her is fellow entomologist Jessica Honecker. Reddick and Honecker will spend the next 2 days scouring the sun-scorched desert and rocky terrain for these 8-legged creatures. If they find any outside specimens or anatomical abnormalities, it could lend credence to reports from the Middle East.
I definitely feel more confident. My cellulite is gone.
It's gonna help lift, tone, and add plumpness to your chest area.
Amazing body reshaping collection that just lifts and tightens, reduces the appearance of stretch marks and cellulite.
Finally finding something that I can clearly see results is way more than I could ever ask for.
My legs have never been smoother.
By the way, I googled that shit. And it only posted 6 days before I googled it, which was only, 2 days ago? No. Definitely research the chemicals in it besides the natural herbs in it.
I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, and I just feel like my legs look better than they ever have, and I feel so much more confident.
Now when I go outside in a bikini, women, sometimes things go down. Now they come up, looks lifted and perky. Now I go out there and I feel so sexy, and it's amazing.
So if you're looking for a great collection that's going to focus on all those key points, your bum, your belly, and your breasts, I highly recommend checking out Maylee's.
Still not gonna fix the personality. Still won't fix that. Just fix those saggy bags.
Body reshaping collection. It is definitely a game changer.
At Metro by T-Mobile, upgrade to 5G and save more. With one line of unlimited 5G for just $40, period. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Powered by the T-Mobile 5G network. Shop now.
Anatomical abnormalities, it could lend credence to reports from the Middle East. Their tools include camera traps and spider-sensitive tracking lights. They begin day one in the north section of the park.
There's several different species all across the sort of southwest of America, up into Colorado, Wyoming. We're dealing with a June, July sort of month-long time to find them. They can be found later and earlier, but this is sort of the prime time for solifuge activity.
Will Reddick and Honecker catch the elusive desert demon they're looking for?
Get it, get it, get it!
And in Venezuela, the hunt goes underground. Around the world, legends are told of giant spiders with a leg span of 5 feet or more. In Iraq, some servicemen and women have allegedly been bitten by a giant desert predator called a camel spider. Stories coming back from the battlefield tell of a flesh-eating creature with enormous jaws, the creature the size of a small cat. These GIs have heard the stories.
The ones I've seen are almost as large as my hand, not quite, but almost, and I have some big hands.
It had the ugliest fangs I've ever seen in my life. If you ever saw the predator, that's exactly how their mouth looked.
I don't fear a lot of things, but that spider in particular just sent chills down my spine.
This picture from Iraq surfaced on the internet. But is this evidence of an 8-legged monster in the Iraqi desert, or a photographic fake? Our expert will analyze this evidence. These spiders are also rumored to attack GIs at night. But are these real encounters or urban legends? In the deserts of Iraq, as the stories go, a serviceman is about to bed down for the night. He settles into his cot, but beneath it, something lies in wait. As the lights turn off, the creature crawls beneath the sheets towards his arm. The creature tears into his flesh, delivering a dose of numbing anesthetic with its venom. The soldier feels nothing as he sleeps.
The spider is shearing chunks of flesh away. Of course, he doesn't realize any of this because it's anesthetic that's been distributed.
When the soldier wakes up the next morning, his arm is covered in blood, the flesh and muscle eaten away. Christy Reddick and her partner, Jessica Honecker, are on the hunt for camel spiders in Seminole Canyon outside Del Rio, Texas. They are skeptical that giant camel spiders exist, but are open to looking for one.
And remember, they're not going to be necessarily under the huge rocks.
Known camel spiders are not spiders at all, but a close cousin called a solifuge. Camel spider is a popular term for them. The name originates from the Latin term fleeing from the sun. Solifuges, like other arachnids, have an exoskeleton and 8 legs, but can run faster than most spiders and use powerful jaws to tear apart their prey, as seen in this video supplied to Monster Quest by a GI in Iraq. It shows a camel spider that has hauled a small lizard up a wall and is now consuming it.
They're very active hunters. They have huge, powerful jaws, and they basically just eviscerate and macerate their prey.
But are they getting as large as the internet stories purport? Reddick and Honecker continue their search in the front lines of Texas.
I got nothing. Likewise. Gotta try and move that one. I think it's too dry here.
The shock and the terror on my fucking face and my reaction to this video is that how lucky we were to not be eating parts of our bodies or the baby's body. Oh my god, dude. It wasn't its arms, it was its fucking mouth. I thought it was its mouth. It was its fucking arms. It was its mouth. It was its fucking mouth with those. Oh my god.
I think move a little closer to the canyon edge. It's almost like they have a radar out to know that we're looking for them. Yeah. When you're looking for them, you can't find them. And when you're not looking for them, they hide in your sleeping bag.
They are coming up empty, but then a discovery.
Chris, here's a tarantula over here. Get it, get it, get it. Oh, he's gorgeous. Nice. So this is a male Texas brown tarantula, and they're really common in this area, but over the past couple of years, they've been really scarce.
But this is not the spider they are looking for. They release it and continue on. No one has come forward to say where and when this picture was taken. But Danny Mendez of the Liberty Science Center in New Jersey analyzes the photo.
Here you have essentially this giant tangle of legs and fangs and arms, and it looks absolutely enormous when you're looking at the scale of the soldier's leg behind it.
The biggest specimen of the creature ever found in the Mideast was 6 inches long. But the monster in the picture is claimed to be 6 times the size. Could this be a newer, larger, more ferocious species?
Looking at this picture, it looks like you're looking at one.
Fucking commercial, bro.
Moving is hard. Suddenlink makes it easier. Get 300 meg internet and a Wi-Fi 6 gateway included for $39.99 a month, including all the equipment you need, so you can stay connected. Plus, you'll even get free installation when you order online. Only at Suddenlink. Click now.
One giant organism, when in fact you're looking at 2.
The picture shows one camel spider clinging to the second with its powerful jaws.
You can clearly see that there's 2 smaller and significantly smaller spiders there, and not the one big one that you would think of by looking at this first picture. By looking at this scale according to the hand and the cuff of the soldier up here, I'd say those are probably no bigger than about 5 to 6 inches apiece.
So the angle of the photo and the position of the camera makes the creature look much larger. Back in Texas, night falls as Reddick and Honecker set up motion-sensing cameras to aid in their search. They train the camera's laser targeting beam onto their bait. A fleshy pig's foot, meant to test whether a camel spider will eat the flesh of a larger animal.
If it comes, we'll catch it on the camera, because it's really going to have to gnaw into that flesh and tear chunks of it off if it comes.
Next, they head out under the light of the moon in search of evidence.
They live in rugged habitats, so it's always hard. It's hot, it's dry, and they're so fast that if you do roll a rock and find one, you've got to be on your game to even get it.
They set up a low-tech but very effective trap to draw the camel spiders to them. A simple lantern.
What this is going to do is it's going to attract sort of flying insects and crawling insects, and that in turn will hopefully attract some solifuges.
And back in Venezuela, day 2 of the expedition is underway to find a monster-sized spider. Rick West and Juan Carlos Ramirez return to the village of San Rafael de Menguare for a more extensive search. The shaman takes them deep into the jungle where a huge spider may have dragged a small dog to show them how to catch any giant spiders they encounter. Although spiders have 8 eyes, they see very poorly. Instead, they rely on vibrations to sense if prey is nearby. The shaman leads them to a den that likely holds a spider. Using a vine, he slowly draws the creature out.
Oh, I can see it. That's a big one.
As it emerges from its lair, they can see it's big, but it is not their monster. The shaman lures more spiders from their underworld and prepares them for this rarely seen meal. He removes its insides before placing the body on the fire for grilling.
He just said that since he was a child, when he would go out hunting with his father, this would be the main supply of food when they were away for weeks hunting in the forest.
So, anybody see the karma in this? You go out and hunt spiders, they come and hunt you and your dogs. Whole village. Not trying to be funny, but this doesn't look like a good Kuda Matata to me.
It's very hot.
I guess I've got to do it, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I know. It's good.
West and Ramirez continue on to the village of Gavilan, where Ramirez has received word that someone has seen these creatures. They arrive into town as some of the villagers are preparing traditional yuca bread.
He says that there haven't been any attacks in this village, but he has heard deeper into the mountains and in the neighboring village that he has heard something about this.
About the giant tarantulas
attacking the chickens.
Really?
Yeah. So that's some hope. Vamos a ir a prendar a ver qué hay.
So we need to go further up into the mountains toward other villages, okay?
Okay, gracias.
Gracias.
The expedition continues on, and the team heads down an unmarked road to the remote village of Pandari. But disaster strikes, threatening to leave the team stranded in the middle of the jungle.
Damn.
The Amazon is not the only place where spiders are a source of fear and fascination. They are ancient creatures going back millions of years that have become part of human folklore around the world. From Arachne, the mythical half-woman, half-spider of ancient Greece, to a Navajo spider woman who's been said to steal small children and carry them back to her lair. Even B-movies from a black and white Hollywood vilify spiders. To millions, spiders are the cause of debilitating fear, creatures they believe will cause harm and death, the true embodiment of dread.
With the Sapphire Preferred card, earn 5 times total points on travel purchased through Chase.
Like to visit Grandma?
Grandma babysits, and you get 3 times points on dining.
On all this?
Dig in! Your same getaways are more rewarding. Chase, make more of what's yours.
The true embodiment of dread.
Most people have a fear of spiders because they are kind of creepy. There's not much known about them. They hang out in the corners of your house. Very little spiders like black widows, which are less than an inch in diameter, can bite you and possibly kill you.
Rick West and Juan Carlos Ramirez have moved from the Venezuelan town of Gavilan to the mountains in their search for a giant spider, a creature said to be terrorizing the region.
For a spider to be able to grab a dog or a chicken, it must have been, so massive and so slow in a way. I mean, it would be scary to see something like that.
They have been told that a giant spider may live near the remote village of Pandari. But then, disaster strikes. The back tire drops through the log bridge, jamming the vehicle to a halt.
Lo que tenemos que hacer, que es lo que yo creo, sacar el carro hacia atrás y rodar este palo para acá, porque ese fue el que se rodó.
Well, we were heading into a remote village called Pandari, and as you can see, the bridges are extremely primitive. This was the last bridge that we were to cross. We don't know if we're going to get the vehicle out today. This could be the end of our giant tarantula journey. Hopefully we can get the vehicle out and get on our way, but I'm just not sure, and I don't have high hopes for this.
Okay, ahora para adelante. Vamos a rodar, yo lo agarro. Agarra este y vamos a rodar los dos.
An hour in the blazing sun leaves the team frustrated.
If we stuck another plank on top of that one.
¿Ya tú lo viste? He wants to try it that way.
It's pretty greasy, I don't know.
Finally, after being delayed for more than 2 hours, they break free.
When you're in such a remote area, things like this happen. I was thinking, maybe we'll miss, our day, camp out here, wait, walk somewhere. But I think we're a little lucky.
They continue their journey and arrive in the village of Pandari to resume their search for evidence. They are met by Simone and his father Antonio, who tell of villagers who have disappeared, never to return.
There's been many dead. Some they are related to tarantula attacks, even though they have not seen it.
So what he's saying is some people have died or disappeared due to what they believe are giant tarantula attacks?
When they left their gardens. So they walked at night, and some didn't return.
Not only do the villagers here talk of massive spiders, Monster Quest discovers they engineer their village against them. Is this tangible proof that something is out there?
Are they afraid of tarantulas coming into their dwellings?
¿Cómo nos puedes repetir la historia que nos contabas de que los abuelos le decían que tenían que cerrar las churbatas para que los niños no salieran? They build their huts with the thatched roof that goes all the way down to the ground. They seek for that additional protection because they have been told that the tarantulas could come into their communities and take away their children.
Really? That's amazing.
The spider in the story is just the kind West and Ramirez are looking for. Armed with a video probe, they gear up and head into the jungle to hunt for the giant. As they venture deeper into the forest, something catches West's eye.
Hey, Juan Carlos, there's one over here.
A spider den, and it's big.
Look at that.
Whoa, that's huge.
I mean, that's hard to believe that that's made by a spider, but that's going to be a truly giant spider.
Despite the eyewitness descriptions, Eugene Fusey is skeptical a spider could grow to monster-sized proportions.
With the current atmospheric conditions, very large spiders, larger than basketball with 4 to 5 foot leg span, is probably unlikely due to oxygen restrictions. They have a very poor circulatory system where they use book lungs to transport air through their bodies.
A spider's lungs are arranged in a series of chambers that look like the pages of a book.
At our current rate of 21% oxygen in the air, it's very unlikely that a spider would be able to get enough oxygen to support that size.
Oxygen levels 390 million years ago, at a time other giant arachnids flourished, were nearly 65% higher than they are today. But if a monster-sized spider existed, how big would its fangs be? Using a high-powered electron microscope, Fuzi enlarges a 1-inch tarantula fang to monster-sized proportions.
A spider with a body the size of a hubcap would have fangs probably at least 6 inches long, probably closer to 8 to 9 inches, which is a considerable amount. You definitely wouldn't want to get bit by that. Their fangs can probably easily go through a sneaker, through your foot, and through the rubber sole on the bottom of the sneaker with no problem.
Tarantula fangs are one of nature's most potent contraptions. Each fang acts like a syringe, injecting the spider's victim with venom. The venom quickly turns the insides of their prey into liquid before it is consumed, leaving behind a hollow shell of skin and bone.
Great to be back on with you. I'm gonna start this thing off with a little rap.
All right.
We got the information to keep you updated because amazing news is always created. But the starch moderates we keep on point, and you are glad to have us in the joint. One more time with us. Oh yes, you can't lose. We're gonna give you starch moderate news.
He sound like Biggie Smalls, dude. Biggie Smalls had a clone.
What's that strategy mission? To address the divide and strive for peace. You guys are going to keep hearing it. It's going to get in your ear. You're not going to be able to get rid of it.
Cannot say peace enough.
Yeah, right.
Our sports, which we love so very much. And it's a great thing that a wonderful thing we were able to tie in sports with peace. Because extremism belongs on the football field. We cannot express that enough, but we've created something wonderful about that. Tell us about that, Greg.
What's that quote out of the DJ Stones track? Love, peace, and football. From the master poet there, Cass, I tell you what. So let me give you the pitch, y'all. Hey, have you heard of the staunch moderates? They're this cool, hip, trendy, intellectual movement of 2022. They're all about addressing the divide and striving for national and world peace. They got Bigfoots. They got Bigfoot's football. They got Bigfoot's baseball. They got staunch moderates news. They made a 14-track hip-hop album. They're in the middle of making their second album entitled Mission Peace. So you gotta check these guys out. And their albums talk all about American culture and addressing the divide and striving for national and world peace. That's what they're all about. Listen in. Join the movement. You too can take part in addressing the divide and striving for peace. The unthinkable, but now the thinkable, because of the platform that the staunch moderates are bringing to you. Again, a way that you can address the divide and strive for national and world peace. You can actually do something about it. Just listen in. Tell your friends. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, shit. Not all spider horror stories emanate from far-flung countries. This massive web was discovered in 2007 by park officials in Lake Tawakoni State Park in North Texas. It was as big as 2 football fields.
Within a few days, it had turned gray just from the amount of mosquitoes it was catching. It wouldn't surprise me if there were, if a songbird or some other sort of small bird flew in.
Could it have been created by a larger, unknown spider? Or was it many spiders working together to capture prey?
Researchers are still looking at that spider web and still collecting spider samples and trying to figure out what was going on there. But that's my guess, is that it was either a couple of species of spiders that make a lot of silk, or just a bunch of babies all hatching out, spiderlings hatching out at the same time. But I think it has some people stumped.
In another part of Texas, Christy Reddick and Jessica Honaker continue their nighttime search in the desert for camel spiders to see if the stories coming back from Iraq are true. They hunt for the creatures with a red light that will help illuminate the area without frightening them away. Other eight-legged creatures are turning up in the darkness, but no camel spiders.
It's really the solifuge's movement that we're looking for at night. Sort of frantic, scurrying over the rocks, pedipalps up, they're running around, they're looking for food, they're looking for mates.
Camel spiders have been reported to run at speeds of 25 miles an hour, although the scientifically documented speed is less than 10 miles per hour. They can come and go in the blink of an eye.
They're really covering ground for something that is a small creature.
They check on their light trap, hoping for a bite.
We have a few dozen ants and a couple of moths fluttering around, but some beetles, no solifuges.
Reddick and Honaker continue deeper into the desert.
So this is the time of night when they should be out, so we should be able to just sort of walk around and find them. Did you hear that? There's a large animal over here somewhere.
As the night wears on, the hope for finding camel spiders dwindles, and the search comes to an end. Although Reddick and Honaker combed a large section of the park, they can't find any of the elusive creatures. But there is hope. The camera trap is still recording the pig's foot that has been put out as bait. And when the expedition continues in the morning, evidence suggests they might have a bite.
Whoa, it's been gnawed on by something.
Around the world, legends are told of giant spiders measuring 5 feet across, the size of a dog. Arachnologist Rick West and Juan Carlos Ramirez hunt for proof in the rainforests of the Amazon, outside the town of Pindari, Venezuela, where villagers say spiders grow large enough to hunt chickens.
Look at the size of this.
We have learned that they specially design their huts to keep giants from creeping in at night to endanger their children. At very least, the fear is real.
Maybe we should try and fish it out.
The old way?
The old way.
The Indian way?
You bet.
Do you feel something?
Not at all. I'm not getting a bite.
How about if we try the scope? Do you think it would work?
I think so.
Since West cannot draw the spider out, he will scope the burrow with the video probe.
Just let me know when you've got an image.
Okay, we're recording. Does the chamber go a different way?